of examples. It says, draw the angle of rotation in standard position that corresponds to each angle measure. Identify the quadrant containing the terminal side. So, same idea, just a little bit more with terminology. Right here, this is what a theta looks like. It's a Greek letter. You'll use this a lot next year in pre-calculus if you take that class, or in any upper level math classes that you take in college. Right here it says these examples involve angles of rotation that are not quadrantal angles. That means they don't start or stop, or they don't stop, I should say, on one of the axes. It's customary to use the Greek letter theta to label the angles of rotation. And we're not going to get a protractor out and make these exact, but we need to know which quadrant they're going to end up in. Alright, so we look at theta equals 140. We think about, okay, I start with my initial side. If I went up this way, I'd be at 90. If I went all the way over here, I'd be at 180. So I'm going to be between that 90 and 180 mark. So I'm going to draw my terminal side there and show my rotation and arrow. You have to show that rotation and arrow so you know it's going in a positive direction. So there's our 140-degree angle. And then it says which quadrant is the terminal side in. Well, let's review. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it would be in quadrant 2. So let's look at this one. 160 degrees, negative. So I think, okay, negative, I've got to go the other way. I start with my same initial side. Because it's negative, I'm going to go backwards, so I go negative 90, negative 180, so I'm almost to negative 180. So I'm going to draw a terminal side that represents close to 180, it's just 20 degrees shy. And then my rotation with that arrow showing that it's a negative. So I've got a negative 160 degree rotation there. And then we think about what quadrant did it end up in. It ended up in quadrant 3. So think about 225. Where would that land you? I'm going to start with my initial side. It's a positive number, so I'm going to go in this counterclockwise direction. 90, 180, 270, I gotta back it up. So it's kind of between the 180 and the 270. I'm gonna draw my rotation with an arrow in a positive direction to represent that positive 225. And we end up in quadrant 3 again. So we look at the quadrant angles are the 90, 180, 270, and 360. Then we've got the ones that land in specific quadrants.